How do you prove the existence of the Most High in the Elohim?
Alright, first of all, when we introduce the word Most High, because in our own time, we have several different languages we have to deal with. For instance, in the ancient Nawapi, which is called cuneiform today, they use the word Anu, when on high. By the time the Hebrews got it, it became Elion. By the time the Syriac or Muslims got it, it became Al-Aliyu. Right? It changes accordingly. And what it implies is that the L, and you can do that in, let's say, if you looked at it in levels of height, then you say the Most High is that being that is what? The highest, which puts him in levels with other beings. So in order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Muslims say, to be the Most High and Aliyu, then there must be other beings that he was weighed against to attain that position. You follow that? That's what I try to explain to the Muslim world. When they say Allah al-Aliyu, one of his attributes, Allah is the Most High, Allah is the highest. You have to say highest of who or what. How you become the highest of something unless there's something compatible to you or something that was a challenge to you and you have what? Overcome it. You understand what I'm saying? So when Melchizedek, the way the Bible translates the name, met Abraham, right? He taught Abraham about Elion, Elion, El in the Torah. Right? The Most High, the highest. Because Ibrahim or Abraham or Abraham, see the language game again, was already worshiping as a Chaldean. He already had a religion. He already prostrated, because in the Torah or Tanakh, they tell you that he fell on his face and he prayed before those Hittites when he was buying a tomb for his wife. Right? You follow that? So he understood prostration already. So he understood prayer already. But Melchizedek had to come and tell him, get back to the worship of Anu. Now why would I say Anu when they use Elion, Elion, El in the Tanakh or the Torah? Because Melchizedek was not a Hebrew. When Melchizedek was speaking, he was speaking as Melech Zodak. He was speaking as in Hebrew, we say Malach, an angel who is Sidar, who is righteous or justified, who deals just. So he wasn't speaking as a Hebrew or an Israelite or a Muslim. He was speaking as a Chaldean. You follow that? Meaning he was speaking to Abraham, who your Bible says was a Chaldean or of Chaldea. They also say he was an Aramean. What they use in the Tanakh is the word Syrian. But if you look into the Hebrew of it, you'll find the word Aramean, of Aram from Genesis 10. So all these people were speaking one of the dialects that was given to man. You with me? And so he would have been speaking to Abraham before Abraham became a Hebrew. The word Hebrew, simply Ivrit, or in Arabic, Ebra, means to cross from one place to another. To cross over the Tigris Euphrates. He was going to the furthest point of our land. When I say our land, let me make myself clear. Because that's a long story from Most High to bring it down to mortals. Our land extended from the other side of the Persian Gulf, coming westward all the way to California. You follow? There was no Red Sea or Reed Sea. Right? Bahra, we call it Bahra Ahmad. There was none there. There was no Atlantic Ocean. Continental drift and continent drift resulted in land masses moving. Thus, there was no Africa. There was no separation called South America. All those pieces of land, when pushed back together, will give you one bland spot of water in the center. And that bland spot today is off the coast of what they call Bermuda. You with me? Which was all part of what the ancients called the Yucatan. Beneath the Bermuda is now what they refer to as the Bermuda Triangle. A magnetic field. that was the capital of our kingdom. That which took place in Sumer and Egypt, and this land, the land of the frogs, some call it a Maxim, from the word Mexico. That's just one of the names. All that was called Genewa. Genewa is what we call it. And we sectioned it off into parts based on the people that were there. I don't want to go too far from Most High, so I'll come back around to that part later. So when Abraham started his journey, he encountered a man who the Bible cannot account for genealogy speaking. A man called Melchizedek. The man is also mentioned in Moses' time. The man is also mentioned in the book of Hebrew in Jesus' time as being after the order of Melchizedek. You follow? This was, of course, an incarnated being. We do believe in reincarnation and incarnation. You follow? Now, Muslims will tell you they don't believe in reincarnation. Christians will tell you they don't believe in reincarnation. Right? But then they'll tell you Jesus died, went to heaven, and he's coming back. Talk to me then. That's not reincarnation, what is it? Jesus died, went to heaven, and came back. Lazarus died, went into a tomb, was wrapped, buried, spiced. Jesus came 3.5 days later and called Lazarus back to life. Back in the same hard-no body. What is that? That's reincarnal body.